Okay, so it's 12:11 p.m. and I'm back with another video. Happy Sunday, everyone. I wanted to make this video, more like a lesson or something, but I have to admit, over the last few days, I've been really self-absorbed and not in a negative way, like to where like, oh, I'm so like this and blah blah blah. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the whole, everything coming to me is just like kind of, how can I say this? It makes your mind just like shatter, like it, because you start questioning like, well, what about this, and this, and now I already knew it was, but not that. I didn't know all of that. So a lot of it is just not traumatizing. It's disturbing, okay, but a lot of it is explains a lot, But then you go down the rabbit hole to all these other issues, and then that's when you're just like, my mind is blown, okay? So I've been working on content for my Patreon channel, and, I know there's a lot of issues going on with Patreon, okay? Mainly because when you are a person like myself, you're targeted. And I know that there's a lot of configuration issues that's going on with my account. They try to keep you in a little bubble when you're a target. And I understand that I have this little entourage of celebrities and important people who watch me, and I do appreciate that. I do, okay? But at the same time, I'm trying to make a living. Okay, so I don't know why. I would never try to contact the people who, what do you call it, support me. I would not sit here and try to try to get information from them or anything or hassle them or anything. But they want to keep themselves hidden, okay? And I understand that because I understand that there's a lot of manipulation that goes on when you're in social media, when you're someone like myself, okay? They'll say you have 6 subscribers when in fact you have millions of subscribers, okay? It's a part of them always trying to keep you down, okay? They tend to think that, and this is not like a smackdown type video to where I'm trying to cause problems, but I'm trying to let you understand how frustrating it is for me, okay? Because I'm somebody who has to take care of myself, okay? I'm a self-sufficient person. And in a world where I know that I'm very likely to be abused, I have to take care of myself. And so when you see people kind of dangling your stuff and playing with it, maybe they don't mean to do that, or they don't see it that way, but that's how it feels, okay? I'm somebody who's dealt with a lot of abuse throughout my life, and I don't like to see any little traces of it, okay? And I know that a lot of people know who I am, and I do understand, I'm coming to the understanding that, you wonder why all these people just drop out of your life. You know what I mean? You wonder why all of a sudden, people aren't talking to you. Excuse me, I'm kind of moving around a little bit because, this chair, it just doesn't seem to work very well, and it's kind of cramped in here. I did some rearranging. But people start like not talking to you anymore, right? And you wonder, what is it? Why in the world would somebody that you spoke to for many, many years just stop talking to you? I understand that I'm dealing with people who are like celebrities and stuff like that, and I know that creates a lot of jealousy. So I kept thinking, okay, well, maybe that's it. But I think more that it has to be something that kind of terrified people, okay? And I believe that people thought that I was like the Antichrist. That I really do believe that people have this in their mind, okay? Because there's no way in the world that people are going to just like avoid you like that, okay? Unless they think you're something evil, okay? Fully understood. I mean, I wouldn't want to deal with somebody that's evil, right? So I understand that, okay? But I got dragged into this. I got dragged into this little dilemma that I would never, say, hey, I want to do that. um, I never really spoke about my religious views out in the open. And mainly because why do that? There's really no reason to. And I know that I've had people who kind of interrogated and instigated a lot of, discussions. I'm sorry, I cannot sit down. I hate sitting down. It's like, ugh, cramp those legs. So I'm kind of moving around a little bit. But I know that I've dealt with people bringing up religious topics and stuff like that. And this is not me trying to dig or anything like that. But I have always sought to be an upstanding person. Even when I was younger and did a lot of stupid things, thoughtless things, I always hated myself for it and knew that I needed to correct it. Like that was like my main focus. Like, I want to correct this. I don't like living on a low level. I hate that. Can't stand it. Okay, and when I got old enough to make my own decisions and get away from like the negative influence, but I think that my mom kind of, and I forgive her. Okay, she only knew what she knew based off of her upbringing, right? So, and people are pretty much ignorant anyway. Okay, that's just how it is. Okay, because people really have not evolved on a human level. You can tell by their animalistic behavior. That's why they did what they did to me. That's why you get so many people who are willing to do and participate and harass someone that they don't even know. Okay? Because this is the level of human standards, which is really bad. But anyway, going back to this. Whew, it's so intense, you know what I mean? Because when you start realizing what was going on around you, and what was being said about me, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing, okay? I want, what I have an issue with, like I said before, I do not have a problem with people who practice their religion. I don't have a problem with people who respect Jesus Christ. I respect Jesus Christ and what he represented, on a spiritual level, okay? My issue, and I was never really outright with it. I only started talking about my issue and my disdain for certain people who claim to be Christian when I got blacklisted and when I started dealing with all of this. This is when I started making all these videos, okay? My purpose in life is a spiritual one. I'm obsessed. Not, I don't like to use the word obsessed, but this is the way I live. Like, I live in a completely spiritual existence. You know what I mean? I think on a spiritual level. Everything I do is on a spiritual level. Everything. This is what I live for. This is what fuels me. This is what I care about. And it may sound odd to a lot of people, okay? Because a lot of people do not understand the importance of understanding understanding and respecting what is sacred. Okay, I was kind of born that way. Now, whether I was designed that way in the lab or whatever, I don't know. Okay, maybe it is my ancestral background that makes me the way that I am. But whatever it is, I mean, like I said, when I was younger, I even considered thinking, maybe I'm going to be a nun. Okay, it's in me to be that way. And no, I don't believe that my life, or just because I love clothes or anything like that, is a contradiction. On the contrary, I believe that we have to live, like we need to live for the things that we do enjoy on the earth, because there's very little to enjoy on the earth. People are shit. People are dishonest. People harm other people just for fun. You know what I mean? So we need to find pleasure in it. And this is my pleasure. Coordinating colors, whatever. Now, some people might think because I was a male in my past life, okay, that I just overindulge in the woman thing. Maybe that's the reason why I was targeted. You know what I mean? I don't know. Okay, but I roll with the punches. I'm a woman in this life, and I love being a woman. I love it. of everything about being a woman. Okay. Now, I also think that some people can hold grudges against other people in terms of issues relating to reincarnation. I will tell you that I never would have suspected this reincarnation life. Some people are born knowing what went on when they were in their other life. They know it. Okay? No inkling. I had no inkling. Okay? This whole Prince Alamalehu person, who I respect and love and adore, by the way, is new to me. Okay? The whole idea, everything about it. So I'm sitting here trying to look up information because I don't know it myself. But I do know that I wanted to be as close to God, or what we call God, my entire life. Okay, I know that I've wanted to be a righteous person my entire life. That's what I wanted all my life. Okay. Now, when I think of the idea of like the Antichrist, I think of what they show in the movies. Some kid or some weird kid or somebody who hisses and screams and gets upset when every time they talk about something holy or they see a cross or anything like that. That never came out of me. Of course, I know they over dramatize things on movies and stuff like that. I'm not the Antichrist. Okay. Tell you what, people had a lot against me when I could not understand it. I thought they were mad because some of the people on Facebook might have thought, okay, well, Maria's dressed up in her pictures or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. What is it that I did that was so bad that people wanted to just fucking hate me on me like that? And the only thing I can think of is this idea that people thought that I was evil because I didn't go to church. No, what my issue is not with people who love Jesus. My issue is not with people who seek out fellowship. I have no issue with that. What I do have is an issue with hypocrisy, and that's what I was dealing with. But I am self-absorbed. Like, I'm thinking more and more about the whole Prince Alamalehu thing. I'm thinking a lot about, the struggles that my parents went through raising me. I understand that, my father, he's my father, James Gordon. My father kind of went through hell because I know that people treated him bad towards the end of his life. I mean, he literally, people did not treat him very well. And I've been thinking, why? And now I understand why. It's very sad. I can't tell you how much I've suffered in my life because of this issue. Don't get me wrong. I'm very grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be alive. Okay, but I need people to understand that it has not been easy for me. It has been very painful for me, even up to this day in my life, thinking about the pain that my father went through. A lot of pain. And I do appreciate everything that man's done for me. Everything. I love my father, James Gordon. He's always going to be my father. And I'm sorry that people treated him so poorly, because that man deserves a lot of respect. And I have to say that I've made peace with my mother. I understand from her point of view what it must have felt like having someone like me in the house. I fully understand. And I respect her feeling towards that. She's human. She was a woman of the 70s who didn't have a lot of choices. So she couldn't just leave. She had to put up with a lot of stuff. And I respect that. I'm a realist. I don't believe that a person could have or strive to be a righteous person unless they are a realist. You have to be able to see things from both sides, and you have to be able to accept things that you may not want to hear. Because that's the only way you can be fair. Those things matter to me. And I'm very high in my standards, and this is one of the reasons why I have a very hard time dealing with things like the workplace. Because a lot of people just are downright animalistic, and it's hard for me to deal with that. Now, mind you, I've been thinking about the bullying that went on when I was growing up. And I understand my siblings were irritated with me, you know. And I understand that the people who were behind this were rallying people against me. I've suffered a lot. A lot. Apparently in this life and the one before. I don't know much about the prince. I don't. Other than what I've read. I don't have flashbacks or anything like that. But I do have certain characteristics about me. And this is what makes me different from my siblings. You know? I've studied past life regression therapy. I remember trying to do that when I was younger a few times, trying to tap in. And I did think that one time I was a woman named Virginia. Now, I could be wrong. That could be false memory syndrome. But I tell you what, and I question that. But I don't question the Prince Alamalehu thing. I don't question it. I don't doubt it. I am so serious about it. I want a picture of Prince Alamalehu. Now, I've been, mistreated a lot in my life. Unnecessarily. Because people thought I was wicked. People thought my father was wicked. Father wasn't a wicked man. He was a good man. To the best of his human ability, he was a good man. And that's not biased. I will tell you, a lot of people walk out on their families. Okay? He could have walked out on his family. Fuck, I wonder, would I have been able to do that? Take care of kids, go to a job knowing that people probably talking shit about you, harassing you, being the black person that he was, showing up to work every day. And he did that to keep a roof over my head. For me to not appreciate that would be foolish, selfish, just wrong. But I have been extremely self-absorbed, thinking about what all this meant, all the times and the years that I missed out on. Could have had a happier life. Maybe. I don't know. It's a lot on my mind. Really it is. But that's pretty much what I wanted to say today. I try to encourage people to open doors to higher dimension. This is something new. Because I know that I've always sought out, contacts that had things, people who had things in common with me. Like when I was first getting on YouTube in 2009, I know that, was it 2008? I don't remember. But anyway, somewhere around then. I was doing a lot of videos relating to the paranormal. And my channel was doing really well. And this is when things were doing really well. And then all of a sudden, around 2012, the hate campaign started. Now, mind you, I've always had problems in my workplace. I've always had nosy neighbors. I always had that. Okay, but I was literally being treated like shit. Starting in 2010, actually, when I brought my ex-husband to the Christmas party. And that's when everything just went crazy. Everything went crazy. Oh my God. So anyway, the the timeline of it all. But something explosive happened, especially in 2012. You know what I mean? People stopped talking to me. It was just very strange, very, very odd. And I think of like the ignorance in people and the damage that they can cause. You know, I will say that the people who targeted me were relentless and possibly incapable of having any feeling whatsoever. I look at my life and I'm thinking, oh my God, look at all the years that have gone by. Look at all the things I didn't get a chance to do with my life. You know, I do believe that by me talking to making these videos, I made over like 1,300 videos on my other channel, the Maria Gordon channel. And then when I was trying to seek out people who had similar interest like myself back in 2009, that was my purpose. It was never to make a big to-do or anything, or that was not my way of standing against Christianity. I just want to be around people who could relate to the way that my brain functions. My brain functions on a spiritual level. And I wanted to be around people who thought the same way. That's it. People have their fellowship at church, and I wanted to find my own fellowship, right? So that's what it was about. It was never against me making a big issue or telling people they shouldn't do this or anything like that. I never had that in my mind. But now that I'm have problems with work, and I don't ever want to go back to a regular 9-to-5 job. So Patreon is my way of making money. I'm a content creator, and I think that I'm getting better at it. As far as like editing videos and stuff like that, I can use some little bit of work, but as far as my content, I like my content. I'm very proud of my content and my work. And so now this is what my life is about. It's about me telling people and helping people open their minds to higher dimensions. You know, for people who are interested in a spiritual life beyond just mere affiliation of saying, oh, I'm this, but like having a connection, valuing a connection with the universal forces, which we call God, right? So that's what I'm into now, and this is what I'm focusing on. So when it comes to the issue of people blocking my channel, it's impossible for me not to have viewers on Patreon. The very fact that people know who I am, everyone knows who I am. So it's impossible for me not to have viewers on Patreon. I would like my Patreon thing resolved as soon as possible, because I don't need to worry anymore. I'm not at fault for any of this, and I deserve to have respect, and I deserve to have peace of mind and not worry about things. That's not me being painty or trying to be disrespectful. It's me trying to keep the line of communication open, because I've been through a lot, and I've been abused a lot, and I've been mistreated a lot. You know, and that's my focus. My focus now is to write content relating to the paranormal. And not just paranormal. It's more like, well, actually, I talk about the paranormal more on this channel, but my Patreon is more about connecting to divinity, being able to use tools to manifest things, okay? That's what I'm talking about on my channel, on Patreon. I kind of keep them separate as much as I possibly can. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And so that's what my interest and my focus is. And obviously people know and are very much trusting of my abilities. So I'm a good teacher. So there's no way in the world I don't have viewers on Patreon. So if Patreon wants to hide my audience, then if that's their game, then go ahead and do that. But at the same time, I deserve to see what I'm making. And I deserve to, I deserve to have that respect. I've been through too much. Entirely too much. I've been through smear campaigns. I've been through extreme, ridiculous bullying. You know, which I'm just going to come right out and say it. It was a hate crime. I don't deserve any more. Also, yeah, I think I was also wanting to encourage people today. Like I said, I'm so self-absorbed today. It's not even funny. And I don't like the way it is. But it makes me think about, you know, the times that I've suffered and the reasons why. And I can't help but, like, just go. I don't even think about, like, going back to regular work. I don't want to, okay? I don't sit here and, like, I'm not like, oh, I miss being this and I miss doing this at work. I don't care about it. The only thing that does represent to me is abuse. That's the only thing that represents to me. It will never have any other meaning to me. Okay? I can't tell you how much this bullshit has discussed. It just completely tore my life apart. Okay? And like I said, this is not what I wanted to make this video about. I really want to be more encouraging, but I needed to air this out because it's just too much for me. It's too much. You know? It's like the hate is just too fucking much. Anyway. Oh, I do think it's important to love and mother yourself. You know, take care of yourself. The world is very cruel, okay? You need to pamper yourself as much as you possibly can. And that's what I'm trying to do. Today I'm trying to, like, I would say the last few days I've been trying to relax. You know, just kind of, like, not being too hard on myself. Not getting angry with myself. Because I get angry with myself sometimes. Like, you know, I want to make content. And sometimes I feel really depressed. You know, because their bullying is relentless. You know, it's relentless. It's like, you know, I'm trying to make a living here and they never let me have any sense of security. They never let me feel any peace. Okay. I don't like the little association. That part I don't like. I like the fact that, you know, there's really cool people who watch me. Okay, like the people that I do shout outs to, that sort of thing. I think that's awesome. I'm very happy about that. But I don't like the stupid game. You know what I mean? It's like there's always... I'm not carrying any vendettas against anybody. I'm not even fucking really aware of all of that. You know what I mean? But I am tired of being, you know, ran over and over and over again just for someone's fucked up pleasure. You know, I don't appreciate that. So yeah, definitely when you have the time, you should take care of yourself. You should pamper yourself. You should indulge in the things that you enjoy as much as you possibly can. Okay? Because it's not an easy world out there. So the only person who really is going to take care of you is you. So if you like arts and crafts, do your arts and crafts. If you like playing softball, play softball. You know, get on a team or something. You know, you certainly should, you know, do things you enjoy more. You know, because like I said, there's no comfort in this world. You have to create your own comfort. You have to love yourself. You know, and that's not being arrogant. It's not anything. If you don't love yourself, believe me, not too many people will. As a matter of fact, a lot of people probably don't. But they say that they do. That's the reality, okay? I mean, we just have to be real. You know? So, take care of yourself. Anyway, but my goal is to be more closer to nature. Meaning, you know, and I've always been that way. You know, I'd like to be able to grow my own food, that sort of stuff. That's what I'm into. You know? And I need to get on with my life. I feel like my life has been held back. Not just in this life, okay? Obviously, I wasn't too happy about what happened in the last one. Just by reading about it, I'm like, it doesn't seem like something I could put up with. And in this life, I'm 52 years old. I missed out on the prom, even though it's probably shit and boring, whatever. But I didn't have that in my life. I've had nothing but bullshit. Bullshit. Harassment after harassment over something I had no control over. And trust me, I would have never been that way. I've never been like, you know, like rah rah rah, let me get into politics, let me bash your head over let me bash you upside the head with my beliefs, and let me shove shit down your throat. Never been like that. I think people wanted me to be that way so that they could find some sort of justification so they can like leash out all their hatred on me. Unfortunately, that's just not how I am. My life is about spirituality. It's all about spirituality. And that's the only thing I want to delve into. I know there's people who say that, oh, you know, I want her to be a singer. I don't think so. Maybe if you would have hit me up when I was younger, like, you know, when I was in my teens or my early 20s, you know, there's nothing wrong with people who want to be a singer. But I think the kind of like singer that a lot of people want to be, they want to be like, you know, a star. You know what I mean? Not that that was like my thing, but I'm just saying is like at 52 years old, you know, I'm an old woman. I'm an old woman. Some people say, oh, you look young, but I know that I'm an old woman, and I don't think, it's ridiculous to me. The idea seems ridiculous to me. You know. Of course, I could do love ballads and stuff like that because I have the voice for that. But I think it's more something I just like singing in my house, you know, or when I used to be at work and stuff like that, I would sing when no one else was around. But I don't really, I wouldn't want to do that for a living, you know. And I'm sorry I made this video so sloppy. The whole thing, when I start to think about it, it's just like it's so much on me. So much on me. Like it's so deep. And who do you share that with? See, everything about my life is special, or what some people would call extra, which I think that expression's pretty funny. But I don't want to be extra. You know what I mean? But I have unique problems that nobody really could relate to. When I thought that this was just a work and family issue, when it was just me thinking it was domestic stalking, like I felt like there was a lot of people, therapists, that were not really qualified to deal with that. Okay. But when you find out that the reincarnation stuff and weird shit that went on from like fucking century or so ago, and all this shit's your reality, I have fucking no one to talk to. It's always me with these unique fucking problems, right? So I have to sometimes be self-absorbed. Because I'm my only therapist, too. You know, it's hard. It's really hard. It's hard on me. So anyway, I did get some messages, intuitive messages. My friends from childhood, they miss me, and it all makes sense now. Yeah. My brain was spinning when I started thinking about how much I do understand what went on in Lancaster when I was growing up. And I'm like, that explains that. And that explains that. Okay, I'm not going to go into how deep all of this really is, because I really don't ever want to have to deal with that sort of bullying again. But I will say, yeah, I'm shocked. I'm very shocked. My mind is blown. Okay, and thank you guys for supporting me and thinking about me. Anyway, that my father and the prince, me, were close in my past life. And obviously, he was there for me when I was growing up, and I appreciate that. So obviously, I understand from this intuitive reading that I did that me and my father are very close. There's a bond there. How deep that bond goes, I don't know. Okay? But I've always had, well, I would say when I was younger, there were times I didn't understand. But as I got older, I was like, man, I really understand what this man did for me. And I appreciate it. Because I know when I compare him to a lot of people that I know, that man was golden. Because a lot of people would not have been able to put up with the crap that he put up with. Also, the other message I'm getting is that people like my philosophy in life, and many people are following it. Um, Before I got all scatterbrained, my philosophy is pretty basic in life. I don't want to hurt other people. I think that if you focus on yourself, um, not in a like a self-absorbed way to where like you're arrogant, because that's not what I'm saying. But I do think that you should love properly. Don't put other people in front of yourself when you know good and well they're not going to do the same thing for you. In fact, they're just going to abuse you. Take care of yourself. And that gives you the ability to love other people. And it gives you the ability to love the right people. It's too often we give our love away. And a lot of people just don't deserve it. Also, I do think it's important that we understand what kindness is, but do so sincerely. Not do it because we're doing things because we feel like we have to, because obligation only makes you resentful. I believe doing things that are more heartfelt, to be more conscious about what you do before you do it, and believe in things and know why you believe them. So if other people like my views in life and they're following it, that's great. You know what I mean? But I will say that, I know that before I was vilified, and I'm glad that people are turning around. I just wish that, social media wouldn't be playing with me like that, because it always makes me feel like there's still some sort of dig. And I'm like, it's always abusive to me. I don't like it. I don't think it's funny, and I don't appreciate it. Whoever's doing it. Now, I'm not saying all the people who are part of this are doing it. There's obviously somebody who controls that. I don't think it's funny, and it's not appreciated at all. Anyway, also, another same message where people were saying that they like the food demonstration. I'm glad that you do. I'm glad you like the food demonstration. I have more coming up on my Patreon channel. And I will probably post some here on YouTube here and now, because I like cooking. I do. I'm not like a cooking lover, but I enjoy preparing. Sometimes I enjoy preparing meals. I'm not preparing Thanksgiving dinner this year, but I do think that food is highly symbolic, and it's a very powerful tool when you think about it in terms of magic. Also, I got the message that people look at me as like a marvel and a phenomenon, because of my mystical abilities. And apparently now I understand that they're like tripping on the fact that a lot of people, I don't know how in the world that this could be like a hush hush type thing, but yet people know that I was Prince Alamelehu. I don't know how that works, really. I don't know. But a lot of people knew it. I didn't know it. But it does explain things, because now, like, I was thinking, like, some of the videos that I was making, I always had this feeling that people thought or treated me like I deserve something or whatever. Anyway, it kind of makes me think that the people who were targeting me thought that I knew I was this person. When I first found out, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, my mind was blown. Okay, I had no idea. I don't recall, like, growing up having it in my mind that I wanted to hurt anybody. I never thought that. You know what I mean? No. Also, yeah, I got the same message about me having more subscribers on my channel. And I really wish. I don't, like I said, I don't think it's funny. I don't understand the point of it, unless, of course, you're trying to make some sort of dig. And this person who does this, and I do believe I know the person, I just don't want to bring up their name anymore. Okay, I don't know. You have an issue. I don't have an issue. I'm not the one who sits here and it's not even on my fucking mind. But I have to make a living. You know, you already ruined my ability to have a job. You ruined my reputation. You ruined my childhood. You ruined my teenage years. You ruined my fucking years when I was able to, you know, I was young enough to spend time with my son. You fucking ruined so much shit. Stop fucking my shit up. Unnecessarily. I'm not responsible for your shit. What I was dealing with was some sort of rage. You know, illogical rage. Anyway, I don't want to go into that too much, and that's not what I meant to do. But see, this is the issue with me being self-absorbed. It's a lot on my mind. A lot on my mind. Because I go over this in my mind so many times about the Prince Alameluhu thing. Because I am a sane person, and I know that I am. And I wouldn't be sane if I didn't. Like, it would be wrong if I just kind of said, yeah, I'm Prince Alameluhu, and blah, 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 blah. And then not question myself. Of course I question myself. But then when I think about it, when I look at all this stuff and what happened to me, what else could it be? You know, I believe it. So much so that this is why I'm so like, wow, like I can't even make a decent video right now. You know, I wanted to be encouraging. This is Sunday, you know what I mean? I try to make encouraging videos on Sunday. But today is just one of those days. It's one of those, oh wow, I'm reincarnated and this stuff is all relating to a past life, and I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to understand it all. You know, I remember when I was younger, I would go to a lot of the new age shops, especially when you start really understanding who you are. Like, I started realizing I'm psychic. I started realizing I had an interest in the paranormal. I started understanding that I had a knack for things that were related to the occult. So I would go to these metaphysics shops, right? And I would hear speakers talking about reincarnation. And of course, I read books on reincarnation. And a lot of it was interesting to me, but it kind of went into one ear and out the other. You know what I mean? And now I'm just like, wow, you know, it sounds strange, but it's like it gives me an explanation for things, you know. And I don't want to go on. I don't. None of my videos on my Patreon channel are going to be addressing the Prince Alameluhu thing. And I really don't want to make any more videos about reincarnation at all. Really. Next Sunday, I hope to make a video that's more interesting, relating to spiritual fuel for people who watch my channel. But right now, I'm just too... My mind is just like, man... How in the world could somebody let another person suffer for something that they had I didn't even do anything. I mean, I'm shocked as hell. You know, I'm disturbed too. I'm disturbed. That somebody would just sit there knowing good and well a person had nothing to do with any of this, and then letting this person suffer, ruining their life. Ooh, boy. No, I don't want to ever meet that person. Never. Never want to meet that person. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm sorry I made such a sloppy thing out of it. You know, I really wanted to be more bubbly and whatever, but I find it very hard to be that way right now. It's only because, you know, I get tired of the social media stuff. I get tired of, you know, not being able to have a social life. I get tired of always wondering, like, I don't have that sense of security. I don't know, you know, what am I supposed to do? Where's my... If you don't know where you're doing, that doesn't make you feel comfortable. And I need to know that. You know what I mean? There's no reason in the world somebody would not want to watch my videos. Because I know a lot of people have faith in my abilities. Obviously, I'm a good teacher. And I know what I'm talking about. So why wouldn't somebody support my channel? Right? I say, you know what? If Patreon wants to hide my viewers, my audience, then go ahead and do that. But I need my my peace of mind. Because I don't like getting angry. And I don't like taking my anger out on people. You know what I mean? But I have reasons to feel the way that I do. You know what I mean? Year after year after year after year. I'm tired of game playing. I hate the game playing. Especially when I didn't ask for it. You know? But anyway, I gotta go. I've got things to do. I do apologize for not making this a great video. But I do think it's important that you understand how I feel. This is how I feel today. This is my feeling today. Actually, it was my feeling yesterday and the day before that. But I was able to finish my video and put it on Patreon. You know what I mean? But in between those times, it was just, I've been sitting around just like, what the hell? What the hell? You know, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up and I'll be back with another one, a better video sometime later. Take care. Bye-bye.